What's up, everybody? It is Elijah. Welcome to episode 1 of Tales of the Train Ride, a story of New York City living, my experiences, those experiences with the people in my life who've helped make me the person that I am and continue to grow into. For episode 1, we got a nice, fun, crazy, unexpected story, but I got Aloe with me. Aloe, say what's up to the people, say how we know each other, all that good stuff.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Aloe. Man, me and Eli, we go back 10 years now, at least.
Basically.
Yeah, we used to play football together in our high school in Brooklyn, but we lived in the Bronx, so, you know, it's like we used to troop together everywhere, coming from where we come from, because, you know, we was the only people from our high school who was from the Bronx, so from there, we just became close, and we still cool till now, so that's my dog.
Not to mention we got arguably the coolest handshake ever, the coolest nickname in Uptown for a group of friends. I mean, like, I'm just saying, there's a lot of things going really well for this friendship. It being 10 years removed from playing football, removed from being two boroughs and a lot of stuff. I mean, ironically, kind of the reason the podcast name of Tales of the Train Ride kind of stems from those rooted experiences of just taking a train and experiences what it means to be from New York, from both the lens of, like, you know, the way things land on you, the way you internalize the world. And I feel like episode 1, there's a lot more stories to come, but I feel like, you know, if there was anyone that I wanted to have on the podcast, I'm glad it's you today, Aloe. So without further ado,
Appreciate you.
of course. So now, until we actually get a real sponsor on the channel, we are going to keep making them up. So this first episode is brought to you by Demon Time. Now, what does Demon Time mean? Demon Time is you are spinning, the room's moving, but your friend is like, hey, come over, we about to do another shot. That's demon time.
That's demon time. Or like when you out and you meet a girl and you realize her friend look better.
But you get both numbers? That's demon time. So now for the story. So the story today in question is a cautionary tale of bad decisions. Demon time is so affectionately referred to today. It is about our After-Prom and my horrible experience. So prom ends, and this is circa 2015. Damn, it makes it sound so old. But anyways, so it's 2015. I had a fun time, took great pictures. We didn't have a limo or anything like that, so we were just in it was like an Uber, but it was a driver. I actually still have that driver's number in my phone to this day. And so we're getting in the Uber. I'm on my way to this after prom. So it was like loosely named after like Project X, like. It was like supposed to emulate net. That was the idea of this after prom. So at least I had gotten there with the group of people that I had went to prom with. Walk inside, and there was like maybe 4 people, and our school is our graduating class was like 1,500. So for 4 people there, just if you could imagine, is a very early portion to come into the party. So I'm looking around, and at this point, I'm excited. You know, I'm not used to partying. This is like maybe the 3rd party I've ever been to in my life at this point. So at this point, I'm just trying to have the most amount of fun that I could possibly have. So they had like the little, you know, like the very like stereotypical like jugs of jungle juice or whatever the heck it was. And, you know, I did a toast with the group of people I went with. The prom date that I went to, we like cheers, and I was like, I'll see you when I see you. She was like, I'll see you when I see you. We like cheers, and I went about my time, and, you know, kind of as people are coming in, I was falling into a bad pattern. Every group, as you can imagine, up to 1,500-ish kind of people, I'm like, hey, what's up? It's good to see you.
I didn't know you was the first. Like, I didn't know you got there that early.
No, we did.
We didn't get there at the same time. So
like, the music wasn't playing early. That's how early we had gotten there.
So you was there and drinking before anybody even showed up.
Yeah, like the DJ was like unloading whatever it was. I don't even remember if there was a DJ.
Wow.
But so I get there, and also I had my duffel bag with me at the time, which is important. That's gonna come back to the story later. So I'm drinking, everyone's coming in, hand me a drink. Oh, thanks. Boom, take a sip. To the point where I remember being so compulsive about it, which obviously don't do this, just as like as an adult, like I sound ridiculous. But I remember like people were like, I don't really like the taste of this. And I took their cup and drank the rest of whatever it is.
That's never a good move.
No, I completely not. It's like the worst thing you could possibly do. But I was so excited to see everybody. And I think at that point, I was going through a lot of changes, finishing up school, about to go into college, and I feel like I was trying to rush this anticipation of this college experience that I was ready to have. At like so early that I just was like trying to fit everything that I possibly could into like the first and this could be no more than 25 minutes. I remember like I was taking pictures, and when I looked at the pictures the next day, none of them had any flash. You had no idea who was in them. I just like I could recognize myself. I don't have them anymore, but the pictures were so bad that I remember I sent them to friends the day after, and they sent me the pictures like with their flash, and I was like, oh, so that's what that picture was. So like that's the level of like just the chaos that was ensuing. So at least this is where I'm at in the story. Aloe, when you get there, what's your experience?
By the time I got there, it was already kind of active. Like I was trying to catch up pretty much. So I'm seeing people having a good time, but then I see Eli, and you know, by the time I see Eli, he was already like, he wasn't really, and we'll probably get to this later, he wasn't really down for the count yet, but you could see that he was way ahead of people. Well, he was way ahead of me as far as being lit, because like he said, like I didn't even know he was there from when he got there. All I know about in terms of his story, when I seen him later that night, you know,
oh no, what analogy you about to get to?
You know when you seen when Jordan was sitting on the bench at the flu game?
Oh no.
That's what
just sweat dripping, tired, being carried off, which is like fair. So I'm anticipating this might have been, because I didn't even get home that late. I know it was like 12:30. So let's just say if our prom ended at 9, we got to the place by 10. I had been heavily consuming everything till maybe for an hour. Seen a bunch of people. I remember hugging like the couples that I was happy to see. I like have pictures of me putting my arms around them, excited, like I completely happy. And then I remember I was like, we were like just all the things just at one time, and I was mixing stuff, and it was bad. So anyways, all of a sudden it was like, I don't even know how to, like, I feel like it's like that SpongeBob meme where like everything like zoomed in all of a sudden and it hit me all at once. And I was like, yo, I'm not okay. So I walked over, and I remember this is where I like really got to see you for the first time. I walk over to, it's like literally this place is a warehouse. It's a big ass rectangle. I walk to the corner. I see Aloe. Aloe, you know, is feeling good, kind of sitting like pretty much exactly like this, because I'm pretty sure I was on the right side of him.
This is my usual post up anyway, so.
And for those who are listening to this on podcast, arms crossed, you know, all 6'5" of him allegedly. And so I walk over to the corner, and you know, I say, "Oh, what's up, guys?" We had other like football players that were around the area, and I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" And I remember the very adamant words that were said. He could put his arm around me. He goes, "Yo, Eli, you good?" Just like that. And I looked like a game of 7-Up. I had my head down, and I put my like thumb over my head to be like, you know, like just barely active, to be able to be like, yeah, I'm fine. I'll let you know what's going on. Pull out my phone. I'm texting my like then prom date at the time. Like, I'm not feeling well. Everything is going bad. I'm awful. Whatever. Like, and again, now I am spending the next 45 minutes with my head down, not feeling well, like the world's spinning, my legs don't want to work anymore, my ligaments is falling, like everything felt bad, like it just felt like nothing worked. I felt like it was just bad. I was stuck in this spot. Everything is going on, everything's happening so rapidly. It felt like if someone was playing a party on fast forward is what it felt like. So for the 45 minutes that I was down, it felt like nothing was going on. Clearly, my recollection of what happened is okay, but there's clearly some great stuff. What I remember is the 45 minutes went up, and you had put your arm on my shoulder one more time, and was like, "You're good," like confirming that I was okay. Yeah. When I was the farthest thing from it, felt like if I don't even know, like think about like a cartoon character, like the world was spinning, and it was like woof. Woof, woof, and everything spun, and on the second, like, last turn, it, like, everything I had drank had, like, projectile came out. I'm sick. And you know what? At this point, this is not even the craziest part of the story. This is calm. This is your average. You drink too much, got sick. Nothing crazy has happened yet. This is a you know, it's an unfortunate night. I feel like people who've gone out have a story like that. So I'm throwing out. I remember like one of our teammates, like, they took a red Solo cup and they put it down right in front of me, and all I remember thinking was, I'm not gonna hit that. And then I was like this is like, even in my disoriented state, I was like, this is still not a good idea. But anyway, so the people who were like monitoring the party were like, hey, you need to leave. And in my mind, I'm like, well, duh. Like, of course I need to leave. I cannot feel anything, and I'm just yeah, exactly. So I can't get up. So a couple, I know a couple of the people who were there, but they picked me up where like my legs are dangling, and I'm tall, but there were people who were taller than me helping me walk, and my legs are like this, like swinging, barely touching the floor, like I'm being, you know, dragged through and swirled around wherever I just, you know, got sick or whatever. And I was like, my duffel. And they give me this blue Nike duffel, and I'm like, this isn't mine. And I hear the guy go, it don't matter, he need to go. Just like that. But I was like, but this isn't mine. He was like, he need to go. And I was like, okay. Put the duffel around my
this'll do.
Yeah, right, apparently. And also, like, just to be clear, like, this duffel was insanely packed. Like the way you would bring a duffel on an airplane when you don't want to pay the carry-on fee. Like, that's how, like, thick this freaking duffel bag was. So I get into the first cab, and the cab goes, we don't take people who've been drinking. Which, in my mind, I was like, this is nonsense. You only take people who are drinking. This is where half the money from cabs come from. Right. And I was like, all right, whatever. Get out. They were like, I was like, you go to the Bronx? He was like, yep, cool. They threw me in an Uber, whatever. I just remember going, I'll deal with it when I get there. So I get in the cab, fall asleep, wake up, see the Brooklyn Bridge, go back to sleep, wake up, back in the Bronx. And he goes, it's $60. Okay, pull out my wallet, open my wallet, I have $20 cash, hand it to him, and then I took out my card and I went to hand him the debit card. And the guy turns around, he looks me dead in the face and goes, I don't take card.
Sheesh.
And I was like, you don't take card? What do you mean you don't take card? I was like, at this point, I can't comprehend what you don't take card means. And I'm literally, I'm seeing, like, I'm right outside my mom's house, like, at the time. And I'm wondering, all I'm trying to figure out is, like, how, they don't take card. And they were like, well, if you can't pay for this cab, we got to take you in. Like, insinuating that, like, I was going to get arrested for not being able to pay for the cab. I was like, I can pay for the cab. I just, like, I can't move. Like, my legs are still not working. I'm tired. I'm still gone beyond all comprehension. So what this cab driver decides to do, which I can't even tell you why they did it, they started knocking on strangers' houses. They never knocked on my mom's door, but they knocked on strangers' houses all up the block.
You was in the Uber still?
Yeah, it wasn't even an Uber, it was just a regular yellow cab. So they go to my neighbor who lives maybe like 6 houses up the block, and they come out, and it just so happened that I knew the sisters of the guy who lived in the apartment, and they go, is that Elijah? And I was like, hey guys. And they were like, and I kind of explained like the very short version of what had happened, and they were like, oh, we've been there. Don't worry, we'll go with you to the nearest ATM, which at this time is Rite Aid, because they do like the cash back, and I think they had an ATM. So they get in the car with me. We get to Rite Aid. I was like, here, gave them my card, gave them my PIN number.
Nah, that's too much.
Yeah, clearly make better decisions if there's any message from this. Gave them my PIN number, and I was like, hey, can you take out $40? Yep, no problem. They go, they come back, their whole, I'm seeing like the two 20s like split and like just in their hand, handed me the card back, get back, we're back at my mom's place. They handed the guy the 20, And I remember being so pissed that I wanted to say something, like to be a smart ass to the cab, but I was too drunk to come up with something clever, so I just got out the car like just frustrated because I couldn't get anything out. And they get me out of the car. We walk into the base, like where I'm at, I live at my mom, my room. We walk in and they're like, "Hey, do you need to throw up anymore?" And I was like, "That's a good idea." Completely let out whatever like I had left. They like walked me in to my room, tucked me in. They were like, "Don't worry, we've had this happen before," you know, because their younger brother was around my age.
Word.
And the craziest part of that story is they were like, "It's okay, don't worry about it." And to this day I have never seen them again. Like I've no conversation with them. I've never said thank you, which I probably should have. If they ever see this, thank you.
Appreciate it.
But like I have not seen them since. So like it sounds like they don't exist for the fact
like a guardian angel situation.
And what makes it even crazier, because the first thing I thought was, yo, I got robbed. If they took an extra 20, I'm not even gonna be mad. They say like they could have, pull out my.
They earned that.
Huh?
They might have earned that.
They completely earned it. So I pulled out my thing. I opened the app or whatever, or like the banking app, and I pull it out and I go, "Oh no!" And it's like literally just minus 40, no ATM fee, no nothing. I was like, "Cool." Fell asleep, woke up, and that was. And had a hangover for 2 days. Missed school on Monday, and was like, sore off drinking until the next party, as someone who's young and foolish does. And that's what did you do the rest of the night? I'm just talking for a minute. So that was my story. Almost got arrested. Someone could have robbed my entire bank account. I was drinking from other people's drinks. My legs stopped working. I was spinning, and then here I am to tell the story.
Yeah, my night was not as eventful as yours. I was lit though. Like,
did you have fun?
I did have fun, but it was not as eventful as yours. It's kind of hard to even put together some of that night just because so much stuff went on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's some things about that night I remember like it was yesterday, and then there's other things that's like, yo, you have to remind me about it today, and I might still not believe you because there was just so much going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was fun though.
Yeah, those are off the camera stories, but yes, those were
definitely off the camera stories.
And also, just on a random end up, I was so hungover the next day that I tried to do all the hangover remedies, but at once. So like bacon, egg, and cheese, fatty foods, ginger ale, soup, crackers, bread, but I ate it all within like an hour span. Completely made my stomach flip, was not hungry, did not eat the entire next day. And I was like, I wish I could be like, lesson learned, but It did save me for the foreseeable future, because I was like, I know what my limit is now and don't drink from other people's cups. But that was a lot. That was definitely overwhelming, and I think that's probably for this being the first episode. That's gonna do it for this one. Hope y'all enjoyed episode 1. Just a fun, crazy story to start things off. You guys got stories of your own about your first night that you had more than you were ready to consume. Let us know in the comment section down below. If you want to hear, is there a certain story that you want to hear about, that you want to share, certain people you want to see me bring on, which it's a little, got Aloe, but Aloe could come back, right? You can come back for another episode moving forward.
Definitely come back.
And that's going to do it for this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. All those good things that are appreciated. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on TikTok and Instagram. They're going to get made. Hopefully they're made. And I trust myself to have done that by the time this first episode comes out. And we'll see you for episode 2.